2024 has been a wild year. A year comprised of some of the highest highs and some of the lowest lows for the industry in recent memory. But also, a calmer year. And in a way, a transitional year. And as we reach the middling point of this generation, a generation that, for all that it's done, has remained fairly underwhelming, it's really starting to set in that the future of gaming as a whole is very uncertain. And as we brace for what's next, a 2025 filled to the brim with new surprises, a brand new star shining ever brighter just under our noses about to be revealed, and a whole ton of new releases. I invite you to come with me and take a look at some of the best releases of not just this year, but years prior. Some diamonds hidden in the rough, and some not so hidden. So here are my top 10 games of 2024. Some released this year, and some that I just got around to playing this year. Separated into two top 5s because of my crippling attachment issues. The first one, made up of games that I first played this year. The true top 5 games of 2024 for me. And the second, a category made up of 5 games that have stuck with me from years prior. Games that I just can't stop playing. Games that I can't stop but boot up and just have a fun time again. Those types of games that every couple of months, they just come crawling back into the forefront of your mind like little parasites, little demons that won't leave me alone. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year's. These are my top 5 times 2 games of 2024. Taking the 5th place for games I first played this year is a game I technically didn't first play this year, as when I began my adventure through the randomly generated gauntlets of Rogue Legacy 2, I had just finished recovering from the annual Awkward Family Get-Together on Christmas night 2023. But the majority of my 70 hours of playtime came in January, so we're letting that slide. Rogue Legacy 2 is a fantastic little roguelike that I don't see discussed very often, when the talk surrounding the genre seems to be dominated by titles such as Hades, Enter the Gungeon, Cult of the Lamb, and Risk of Rain 2, all fantastic games in their own right, but it's a bit saddening to see Rogue Legacy 2 left in the dust. This game is the biggest roguelite I have ever played. As in, not a roguelite, a roguelite. Featuring a monstrously huge upgrade tree and bosses that stay dead even after you kill them, even after multiple runs. It provided me a different kind of roguelite experience, one I very much cherished. As a huge fan of the genre and someone perpetually scared of purchasing Balatro out of fear of my productivity being sucked away from me for a month or two, Rogue Legacy 2 stands as one of my favorite roguelites of all time. Echoes of Wisdom, oh echoes of wisdom, like a true modern Zelda game you possess such power over me, but a wildly fluctuating kind of power. If you were to ask me where this game would land on this top 5 the week I finished it, I would have stated no lower than 2nd place, surely. But alas, it is not the week of completion anymore, it is mid-December and I've had some time to think. Echoes of Wisdom is to me a fantastic game. One truly deserving of the praise it received when it was released. However, it is also very much a flawed game. From the moment I started playing, the performance issues were unignorable. Truly one of the worst performing first-party Switch games ever released. I struggled so much with the fluctuating frame rates, in fact, that this was the game to solidify in my head the real need for a Switch successor console. It really felt like the end of this little guy. And even so, what a nice little game. Echoes of Wisdom has fantastic and unique dungeons, fun and engaging puzzles, and a wonderful soundtrack to match. Doing everything this game had to offer was a delight. And while I'm not looking into replaying this anytime soon, mainly because of the performance issues, it did give me one of the most enjoyable gaming experiences of the year, a testament to its strengths. I played Resident Evil 4 on Wii growing up, so I was spoiled, and for the longest time I thought it to be a one-off hit of the Resident Evil series. I told myself it doesn't get better than this, and subsequently, every Resident Evil game I tried just didn't live up to that Resident Evil 4 glory. That's until I decided to pick up Resident Evil Village. I did not expect it to hit me this hard, but it sure did. I couldn't think of doing anything but playing this game for a week straight until I rolled credits. The atmosphere is sublime, the graphics look great and sell the vibe of the game super well. Everything from the scary, nerve-wracking segments to fast-paced shooting challenges, Resident Evil Village is everything I loved about Resident Evil 4, but in first person. And while I'd still take Resident Evil 4 or 4 Remake over this game, playing through Resident Evil 8 has made me optimistically excited for the next installment in the series, and it comfortably makes it into my top 5 games of 2024. This game is something else entirely, man. Lethal Company, a multiplayer horror roguelite indie game made by one little guy. Who would have thought that this would be one of my most played games of the year? I sure didn't, but I'm so glad I gave it a go. Lethal Company is one of the most immersive games I have ever experienced. Through its masterful use of audio design, integrating proximity voice chat perfectly into its world, graphics complemented by a phenomenal art direction, and a large cast of diverse enemies, each with their own special way to make you shit yourself, the over 100 hours I spent with friends in Lethal Company this year will stick with me for a while. And I'm sure there's a lot more fun times awaiting me in the abandoned mansions and dark hallways of this game next year, as updates keep getting rolled out. Please, Zeekers, update it more. I need it.
Very careful.
There's a Bracken out?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Bracken's got nothing on me. I know what I'm doing. Where am I? I don't know where I am.
You don't know what you're doing, clearly.
I do know what I'm doing, I just don't know where I am. Okay, I found myself. Where's the Bracken now? That's the trap. Is it a trap? It's not a trap. Who else could it have been other than the DLC nominee itself, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree? Nothing came even close to it, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna stand here and pretend like a DLC didn't just blow out of the water every other full game I tried this year. Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree is one of those rare video games that make you feel 12 again. It sits amongst my favorite games, not just of 2024, but of my entire life. The verticality of this world, its layers upon layers upon layers of stuff to explore, places to go, bosses to kill, and this realm of shadow consistently blesses my eyes with its beauty. Seriously, how did they cook this hard? I thought Elden Ring was already one of the prettiest games I had played. Then I booted this up and it's my wallpaper now. I can't stress enough just how much this game meant to me when it came out. When I first played Elden Ring, I used a mage build, summoned the whole arsenal given to me, and I barely slogged my way through that game. But not anymore. I played through this game without any summons or guides or anything, and after 2 weeks, I had poured over 50 hours on this and beaten the final boss completely on my own. It wasn't easy, this isn't me showing off. There were some bosses that took me over 5 hours of attempts, but I pulled through. And not only that, I had a blast doing it. This was my favorite gaming experience since Breath of the Wild in 2017. Being immersed in this beautiful yet terrifying world and overcoming the hardest of challenges filled me with a sense of fulfillment I don't think I've ever felt playing a video game before. So there it is. DLC is Game of the Year. And now, for the second top 5, holding the 5th place spot for games that just won't leave me alone even after hundreds or maybe thousands of hours, we have Blue. I'm weak. I'm not a strong-willed individual. I'm not any better than anyone else. I spent over 500 hours on Bloons Tower Defense 6 in the past 2 years and I don't regret a thing. Bloons is the best tower defense game ever made. Period. It just is. The variety of combinations and different strategies, regular content updates, and a gameplay loop that never seems to get old. I have Bloons on my phone. If I'm ever stuck in public transport or ignoring college classes, playing the little monkey game gives me the hit of dopamine just large enough to keep me going. In a way, Bloons saved me from depression. Bloons saved my life. And it gets just the 5th spot because the next game is... this game. The reason I started this YouTube channel in the first place was to critique Tears of the Kingdom. I saw everyone loving the game so much, so back in December 2023, I told myself I am replaying this and making a video essay critique on it. It got like 4 views in the first 2 months of release, but it sparked something in me and now I'm semi-consistently making YouTube content. In a way, Tears of the Kingdom saved me from depression. Tears of the Kingdom saved my... Okay, I'm kidding. And it's a banger game. It's still a banger game. I've beaten it twice now, and this year I've been chipping away at a no Zonai devices playthrough, which I'm almost at the end of by now. There's little to say about Tears that hasn't already been said. It takes Breath of the Wild, amplifies some of its strengths, but also some of its weaknesses, making for a fantastic game in some aspects, and a fantastically bland game in some other aspects. Despite the flaws, it's still open world Zelda, and it's still such an enormous banger, and I've spent 100 hours playing it.
I am Steve.
What do you want me to say? It's Minecraft. Everyone has their yearly 1-month Minecraft phase and so did I. Here's my survival world. How pretty! I drained this monument, acquired a willingly unpaid workforce, and built a massive storage room just to never use it. I love Minecraft and it's my most played game of all time. Thanks Mojang for not letting me see my playtime because that's a reality I do not need to confront right now. Well, if it isn't my favorite weird quirky shooter Splatoon making an appearance. Over 700 hours of my life playing this one. Super fun gameplay, although like most shooter games, once you start taking it a little too seriously, it's a one-way ticket to broken monitor land. I still had so much fun playing Splatoon this year. The community events are really nice and I was there for the final Greenpath. And even after the content updates stopped coming, Splatoon 3 holds a steady community who's passionate about their game and I love how deranged the plaza gets sometimes. Sorry there, was just washing off my clown makeup for the year. Jokes aside, Hollow Knight is like a comfort food game to me. The large, sprawling, bug-ridden underground world is home to so many secrets and little crevices full of disgustingly terrifying little critters. Hollow Knight has the best combat gameplay of any Metroidvania I have ever played. I love it so much that this year I've decided to do all bosses in the game hitless. And I'm almost done, but I'm not looking forward to these last stretch. God, this last few are so hard. As I finish up my, 11th playthrough of Hollow Knight, I remain astounded by its world, characters, and tough boss fights. Thanks for the game, Team Cherry! Looking forward to playing Silksong in 2025, right guys? Yeah! Ugh.
Oh, stop!
Congratulations, you have reached the end of the year, still alive and still kicking, and also the end of this video. Thank you so much for your viewership, I appreciate the support, and subscribe to see more content from me. And so, my first year of content creation comes to an end. Starting a gaming channel in 2024 is nothing like the old days, I must say. Or at least it doesn't feel like it. I wasn't there in the old days, but I assume it is nothing like the old days. If you found me from this video or have been watching for months now, thank you, genuinely. Producing these videos can often feel like screaming into the void. It's a feeling of directionlessness, in a way. I'm overjoyed by the fact that these silly cat gaming videos have found their way into so many people's homepages in 2024. And I hope to keep improving my skills, learning to make some not terribly unappealing thumbnails maybe. And I hope you'll stick around for the ride. Thanks again for watching, have a wonderful day, I'll see you next year, goodbye!